You're listening to Into the Smoke, hosted by Patrick Harmon. And how you guys doing today? I am your host, Patrick Harmon, and you are listening to Into the Smoke on YouTube. So, guys, what's up? Sorry for the week off. It was, I don't know, I had a headache and all that stuff, and, just didn't want to, basically bore you guys with stuff when I'm not focused on stuff. I am focused today, though, guys. We're going to get right into it. Bristol Motor Speedway brought out a basically, I don't know if it was a flaw in NASCAR's rules, or, I don't know. But, this last weekend's race was definitely something that we need to talk about. Basically, at Bristol, it's a 2-lane. I think that's how they call that, 2-lane pit road. When you're on caution, you actually have to go through the whole pit road. But when you're not on caution, you can go through your pit road because it's really small. I think it's a half mile. Yeah, I believe it's a half-mile track. So you will actually have to drive, pit road is on both sides of the stadium, is what they call it. It's America's, the world's last, I forget what they call that, but, it's on both sides of the stadium. So, when you're on, caution, you have to actually drive around so you can, so it's fair, but basically what Denny Hamlin was doing was he was checking up, and they call that the cone rule, but the flaw in it was that he was doing it so much. I believe that he was doing it so much was that he was making people check up way too much, do a major checkup. And then he was making, if they they had enough room, they were swerving way too much. So I don't understand it. And NASCAR did say that they would look into it, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll look into it. But they did say, oh, it didn't affect him too much, and I'm like, yeah, it probably didn't. It's like he probably didn't care about that too much. He only cared about what happened with him. You know what I mean? If he got the inside or outside. And they also said it only affects a few tracks. And now, like I said, and what I said here too is like they didn't look at the actual picture. Is that who cares if it affects him? It affects other drivers that are trying to get out on better position. They don't care about that stupid, are we on the inside or outside? If they have a good car, they can get on either side. So, I even heard that there might be a thing so you can drive in to basically to pick inside or outside. But again, who really cares if you have obviously you might not think you have a good car, but your driver might. Your crew chief might just say, just go with it. Don't give a rat's butt what that says. Just go in the middle of that and tell NASCAR screw off and just drive off. Because, like I said, it was just Denny Hamlin. I don't think I saw any other driver at Bristol last Saturday. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on it? Should they go basically fine them? I think it should be some sort of a penalty. It's like, well, you're going to go to the back of the track now because you're back of the longest line because you're doing that. But it's whatever. So moving on to penalties. Penalties aren't that much. They're just lug nuts right now. The Suarez got a lug nut for $10,000. So, and then 51 and 83 of the Truck Series also got, and they're only $2,500. And as I always say, lug nut violations are one of the most stupidest violations ever in the rule book, and not because that they're a stupid violation. It's because people need to understand. Watch the lug nuts last few pits, and if you guys can't do that, then I don't know. It's like, I guess you guys can't. I don't know. I just think they should really tap all 5, because it's not that hard. I know I can't do it, but you hired those people to do a specific job, and if they can't do the specific job, then they can't. I mean, you can't keep on losing money over this thing. It's like $10,000. They probably have a lug nut violation hat going around every week. It's like, hey, we're gonna get a lug nut violation. Here's your hat. Oh, it's like, hey, I only saw a 5 going in there. Where's your $100 bills? I know you making a lot of money, but all joking aside, people, come on, get your lug nut violations correct. So, really, all joking aside, there was some strict words placed on a driver. Like, it was a driver to driver kind of thing. I don't know if he called into a radio show. It was a major podcast, not like mine, but a major podcast or something like that. But Harvick called in and talked about Junior. And the main, I know people might sit here and be like, well, he really said this, and he also said this, and he also said, and I hate when people say that, like, say that, and be like, oh, he might have said that, and he said that too, and he said this, and okay, but take what do you think you should take away from this? And then you could also hear the radio. I'm gonna call them radio hosts. Like, I'm called a host, so you could hear the hosts talking about this after it, and they could even hear the main discussion. And this is the main discussion. Harvick said that Junior might be the most popular driver, but he's not the most successful driver. And let that sink in for a moment, and really think where he's at right now. Not where he thinks he's at, but really think where he's at. But he might be because he was, like, I'm not even gonna say how many times he was the most popular driver. It was too many. I think I heard about it last year, and I'm like, oh, he's our most popular driver again. I'm like, woohoo! It's like, can't we get a driver that's a little successful, or a little more something else? It's like, what's popular about him? Can he win a championship? And I just because some people like to go back and forth and compare, I guess. We'll do a little verse. Let's do a little verses right here. I got the stats right up here, and we're just gonna go Cup and Cup and Xfinity, because these two drivers only have Xfinity and Cup Series. And the other driver has Truck Series, but Junior doesn't. But this other driver just retired last year. Owns a track. Owns his own successful team. Granted, it's with another team, another owner, but this owner is not some big wig guy that owns trillions of things. He just owns a freaking like a CNC machinery company. He basically probably never knew anything about NASCAR. He probably, I think he did actually. Let me take that back. I think Gene Haas knew something about NASCAR, but like I think Tony is the brains of basically the operation of Stewart-Haas Racing. I think, Junior is basically nothing to Junior Motorsports now. I think he's just mainly the face, But we're gonna do a side-by-side comparison. I think we'll go up on top first of our achievements, and we'll give it to Junior on this one. He's got 2 lower series wins. We'll call them now Xfinity Series wins. We're not going to talk about all the big wins that everybody likes to talk about, because I think a lot of people can win Daytona 500s. I understand that you can get a ring for them now and all that stuff. But it's just... He got 98 or 98 and 99 Busch Series championships, which is now the Xfinity Series. So, okay, but guess what? He has no Cup Series championships. We're gonna go over here to Tony Stewart, who retired last year, and that's why I'm kind of like side-by-side comparison, because Tony retired last year, Junior's retiring this year. Tony has 3 championships in 2002, 2005, and 2011. Well, we're over here to Tony Stewart. Actually, did I even see that? Nope. Actually, Tony got 1990... Oh, never mind. Nope, he actually did. Tony actually got 1999 Winston Cup Series Rookie of the Year. He actually got the Rookie of the Year for his class. Did Junior get that? No. Granted, it's not something too crazy, but that's kind of cool. He also got Rookie of the Year for his Indianapolis 500 class, but again, we're not talking about anything without anything. Okay. He's got 49 wins. 49. We're not talking about anything else right now. His last win, get this, guys. His last win was back in 2016. Guess what year he retired? Guess what year? Just guess. What was last year? 2016. If that doesn't blow you out of the water yet, listen to this. This BA over here has got only 26 wins. His last one was back in 2015 in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. Okay. Junior's gonna have a little bit on Tony on this one, because Tony did not race Xfinity Series for a while after. But Junior's got 24 wins in the Xfinity Series so far, and I believe he has more, I think, slated for the 2018 series. Okay, we'll give him that. Back in 2016, He also won his last race. But you go over to Tony. He has 11 wins. His last win was also his last race. So, I think, let me look at real quick. Yeah. So, you gotta have that for Tony a little bit because he didn't race Xfinity Series. He got out of that. Like that was, I think he actually even made a statement on that, stating that it's just not gonna happen anymore. Like I don't do that. That's, you know what I mean. He actually back when he was driving Chevy still, Junior actually was letting Harvick drive his car, and all that stuff. And actually, that's why this whole thing is kind of come a play, because Junior got kind of like, oh my gosh, you did so much for my team and all that stuff. So you should, I'm like, yeah, like buttered over it. And I was like, okay. Like people can make comments over anything. Like don't have to like say. But anyway, guys, that was just a little like statement. Like I don't know if people don't know those stats or they just don't want to hear them. But those were stats. Those were actual stats. Like those are most up to date you can get. So it's like if Junior wants to get a championship this year, he needs to get it in the next 2 races. When they actually nope. Sorry, I screwed that up. He needs to get the win in the next 2 races. He needs to get the win in the next 2 races, and then he can start working on the championship, but it ain't working out this year. When Tony won his last race, he was happy for it, but it was also one of those, like, we'll work hard in the championship, but see the championship side, but it was really something that it was just more of a, I was like, ooh, that was pretty cool. It's like, that would be pretty cool, but I don't know. But, we got 3 spots open and only 2 races, I believe. Yep, only 2 races. So, one of these drivers might end up winning. We got we got Chase Elliott, Matt Kenseth, and Jamie McMurray. And obviously, we were talking about Dale Jr. Dale Jr. is all at the bottom of the list, 22 drivers. I believe Clint Bowyer really does need to step up his game a little bit. I really want him to win, and he really needs to step it up. So I really hope he can step it up. But it's definitely something we could work on. Harder on. But yeah. But we got Clint Bowyer, Joey Logano, and then we got 2 rookies, Eric Jones and Suarez, and Trevor Bayne, and then Dale Jr. to finish out that list. But and then so to look at the list of the next few races, we have an off week this week, meaning that next week, meaning the how I usually would do a video, or not, a video podcast, meaning that, and I was going to show my face to this podcast, totally screwed up that way, but I'll do that soon, guys, for you. I'll do a face podcast or something like that, however they call it. But next race will be on Sunday, September 3rd at 6 p.m., which is it's a holiday race. It's a holiday race, so they do the 6 p.m. race. And then the next race is going to be on a Saturday, and that's the last race. That's gonna be the lock-in race. The Richmond Raceway. Richmond International Raceway. RIR. Yeah, Richmond International Raceway. I always want to call it something else. But RIR is going to be the last race. It's going to be the lock-in race. Whatever goes next, it goes next. So September 17th, it's a Sunday at 3 p.m. is our first official official chase race. It's Tales of the Turtles 400 at Chicago Land Speedway. All these races are on NBCSN, and we also have no more holidays, basically. No more off weeks after this weekend. This is basically the bit. I think they do this for the drivers, and well, obviously for the drivers and and the watcher of the sports, but mainly they do it for the drivers. But we got a lot. We got some of them are gonna be on NBC. The last two or three are always on local. But September is gonna be a great month for this both my channels actually. I don't know if I'm gonna have either of the games on this channel. I know NASCAR's coming out, and then I know that the DOJRP, which is Department of Justice Roleplay, which is a game you can play on GTA 5, and I want to eventually play that, but I don't. That one obviously isn't going to be on this channel, but I haven't decided if I'm going to do the gameplay of the other one on this channel. So I haven't decided. If you guys want to put your input, or if you guys just want me to put a thing down below, like, hey, this is where all the gameplay is going to be at, and I can make a file of it too, like, and show you guys, like, this is exactly where it's going to be at every single time that I upload something, and then you guys can always check it. But and then yeah. So I hope you guys liked this episode. It was a little more gotcha or whatever, and I wanted to be more like that way, because it was so, when I heard about Junior even getting a little irritated about it, I was like, come on, dude, like, it's just telling the truth. Like, people don't like hearing the truth. Like, come on, like, it's just telling the truth about you. It's like, you're not really successful, and the championships are really where it's at. Like, you need to have at least one championship on your belt. And I guess if really at the end of the day he wants to retire with what he has, it's his decision, and he's gonna make it. So hopefully he can rest with that decision at night every single day. And I know he's coming to NBC, but I don't know if I can live with him on NBC now, because of how I feel about this. So, without further ado, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you guys like the content. Hit the bell so you guys can get notified, and comment down below anything that you guys might want to question about. And I'll also hit my email address down below as well. Till next time, guys. See you guys in the next one.